Not a lot of people notice this, but if you look closely, in the background of the pages of the Rent-A-Girlfriend manga, from the beginning, there has been a big mystery waiting to be solved. It's pretty hard to catch in the early chapters, but with the new information in chapter 180, we can finally answer the biggest question in Rent-A-Girlfriend. That question being, how big is Kazuya's PP? Now, I am aware that someone else has calculated this in the Rent-A-Girlfriend Discord and come to the conclusion that it is 16.6 centimeters. However, when I went to look for this myself, I was unable to find the initial person who made this calculation or any calculations whatsoever of how this person got to this conclusion. Furthermore, when I looked up this value, the first mentioning of it was at the start of 2021. So this person would have gotten to this conclusion using a different image and not the image that we have in chapter 180. Also, take what I'm saying with a massive grain of salt, as although an ordinary person might calculate this with something more accurate, I'm just using my phone and my trusty ruler. On top of that, I did overlook some info that would ruin the integrity of my final answer. Like for instance, you can't actually see his entire wee-wee in the photo, just the long part. But generally, this calculation should be fairly accurate considering everything. So, let's begin. According to the fan wiki, Kazuya is 177 centimeters tall, so I took the image they had of him, measured his height on my phone screen, and got the ratio of his digital to physical height. Using that, I determined the length of his forearm, as that was the only body part I could see in full in both images that isn't bent. I measured the outside of his forearm rather than the inside, as his arm is flexed in the image from chapter 180, and the outside doesn't bend while the inside does when the forearm is flexed, if that makes sense for anyone else. Then from there, I used the measurement of his forearm in the second image from my phone and used that scale to get the size of his weebie. And the value I got was 12.718 centimeters. However, in this image, he is flaccid. How long would it be if Kazuya was actually erect? Well, according to a study published by the British Journal of Urology International, the average length of a flaccid PP is 9.169 centimeters or 3.61 inches, and the length of an erect PP is 13.106 centimeters or 5.16 inches. Thus, an average increase of 3.937 centimeters or 1.55 inches. Thus, we can conclude that Kazuya's PP is around 12.7 centimeters when flaccid and 16.7 centimeters when erect. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and good night.